Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robert Peter Williams. So just before we get started, as with our last episode, another little disclaimer. So this episode also was filmed at the same time with Alan and Sarah, about a year ago from when this is actually being published. So there may be a few references and maybe a little bit of different style to our now professional feel, Lucy. And there's also another thing that Lucy's going to tell us about.
Obviously, we talk about Going Crazy, the song that Robbie recorded with Dizzee Rascal. And since we recorded this episode, obviously some things have happened with him. We don't really need to go into detail. But just to put the disclaimer in, this was all recorded last summer.
So that, I think the reason why we want to tell you that is because obviously at the time we couldn't mention anything. Well, there was nothing to say about it because it hadn't come out at that point. But we took the decision to keep that part in because it's part of Rob's songwriting career and his history. And, we obviously, you'll hear us talking about the song, but we just wanted everyone to know that we acknowledge that,
some things have happened.
Some things have happened, and they happened in court, and that person was found guilty. And but we're not censoring the episode because of that. So there you go.
Okay, so
enjoy.
Once again, hope you enjoy it. Today we'll be looking at the B-sides that appeared on the singles released from Robbie's Take the Crown album, as well as the 3 nights he did at the O2 in November 2012. Plus his stadium tour of 2013. These are among some of the last B-sides Robbie has released, as downloads and streaming became more popular, losing the need for extra tracks to fill CD singles. And on today's episode, we're welcoming back Alan and Sarah.
Yeah, hello. Alan, Sarah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to be here on this rainy day in Scarborough.
It never normally rains in Scarborough, only at night.
I had heard that.
Today is just an exception, Matt. But
thank you for coming on the podcast again.
thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Again.
Yeah.
And thank you for telling me there was a EP of B-sides.
Which you didn't know about.
Well, we're going to
I didn't have a
explore
clue.
those right now, so you get to learn more about them. Sure, Lucy's got lots of factoids for us.
Well, some.
So On My Own, demo.
So, these were B-sides to Different. Because I think for Candy, that was the first single. I think they just had remixes of Candy as B-sides, so not interested in them. But for Different, they released an EP which had 4 extra songs on it. The first being On My Own, demo. And that was written by Robbie and brothers Kelvin Andrews and Danny Spencer, otherwise known as Soul Mechanic from Stoke-on-Trent. They also produced the track. Danny was part of Candy Flip, Sure Is Pure, then Soul Mechanic. And Candy Flip's cover of Strawberry Fields Forever reached number 3 in the UK. They've also remixed Sister Sledge, the Doobie Brothers, and Aretha Franklin. Soul Mechanic produced 4 songs on Rude Box, and since then they've continued to work with Rob, being credited as central midfield on Reality Killed the Video star, co-writing 10 of the tracks on that album. So Rob said, "I write so many songs and I love all of them, but they don't all make it onto a record. Some of my favourite songs have never been heard. I wanted to put out an EP so a few more could be heard. Check out the legend that is Tom Jones on My Own." So this song, On My Own, features Tom Jones.
Yeah, Sir Tom Jones.
Yeah. And
The legend.
And only Robbie could stick
Put
Tom
him on a
Jones
B-side.
on a B-side.
B-side, yeah, and get away with it.
I mean, Tom's voice,
Yeah.
Just
such a great contrast.
incredible, sensational as always. The is in it as well, I noticed. And his laughs on it. It's just
it?
classic. Yeah. Yeah, I think they have a bit of banter in the middle of the song, don't they? There's a little
Right.
bit of
Yeah.
exchange going on. It's got a funky bass line, good horn section, bit of talk rapping and a bit of Tom.
And it's got some funny noises in it, like a sort of cat noise, like a meow.
Yeah.
And then like a trombone sort of for a dog or something.
Bit of everything.
Yeah. And also, I like.
It's also got the lyric. If you don't love this record, don't play it.
Has it?
Yeah.
This makes sense.
Yeah. I like a cup of sugar and a bottle of Bass. Can't a man get a drink in a glass?
Glass.
But that's not
In a
how
glass.
I would say it.
In a glass.
Cup of sugar and a bottle of Bass. Can't a man get a drink in a glass?
No, it's a glass.
Yeah, but bass rhymes with glass.
I know.
So, there you go.
Any thoughts on this song?
I couldn't see where it would sit on a Robbie album, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
No.
That's true.
Yeah, I think, yeah. You had to put it somewhere, so we put it on a B-side, that's fine.
Yeah. It could have been on an Under the Radar, but that didn't exist at that point.
No,
That was something that came later.
Yeah,
so-
that's where it would go now, isn't it?
Yeah.
or if it mentioned Christmas, he could have probably shoved it on the end of his Christmas album.
Oh, we're coming to those.
Yeah, I think it's a good song. I like it.
Yeah, catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the
not-
different
not-
EP.
Not typical
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
I wonder what Tom Jones fans think of it.
Or if they even know it exists.
Most people don't know it exists.
Yeah.
Well, it was a demo, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, good song.
Yeah. So let's go on to the next one on this EP, which is quite a fan favourite, I think. Soul Transmission.
Yeah, I've heard this. I know this one. I
know the
can
video
say
for this
something
one.
about this.
So this was written by Rob, Kelvin Andrews and Danny Spencer again, and it was produced by Soul Mechanic and Daft Dog. A video was released on YouTube showing footage of his wedding taken by Ida's brother Dylan, and he said, "My mad and much-loved brother-in-law is always filming. I loved it and I wanted to share it, so I threw in a bit of a lip sync done in my garden one morning."
It's a pretty beautiful garden, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah.
nice place
Just
to.
rub it in our faces again,
Yeah.
Rob, will you? Yeah. Yeah.
The song was obviously re-recorded for the Christmas Present album when he said, "It's a spiritual, bigger picture, otherworldly kind of song that I wouldn't remember a lot of from the first time that I wrote it. I seem to have been writing about the soul condition and the contract that already exists when you get to the planet, to be the person you're going to be. One of the saddest moments of my life was one particular Christmas day when I was alone, where I'd just finished drinking and I was very vulnerable. It's a song of hope and perseverance, telling that person to keep going when I didn't feel like I wanted to."
What do you think of the song?
I mean, I always thought it was from somewhere deep inside in this song.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know why, but I knew it touched somewhere deep inside him, and
Yeah.
he'd been, I mean, we all know he's been dark places, and I think this is one of those songs that comes out of there, and he's all the better for it.
Yeah.
Well, the being alone on Christmas Day is probably the saddest lyric
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you could have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't really know why he would have been alone on Christmas Day. You know, it's weird to think of.
I know, all those people around him.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think that's
When you
what
think of the
you're
Christmases he
surrounded
has
by
now.
Yeah.
hundreds of people. You're alone, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you're saying.
You can try and imagine it. Yeah.
Yeah. Deep one.
Good song.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
I love
think
it.
It's like
I really love
epic.
this song.
Epic. That's what I think.
Epic. It feels really immersive as well. I mean, we just listened to it a minute ago before we started, and just sort of, I don't know, you just
Like
feel
the sort of
immersed in it. It feels
Haunting kind of.
Yeah. You've got those
Opera
choir
sort
type
of.
voices and lots of different instruments. It's really rich, and his voice works really well on it. It's just, yeah, it's a nice
sort
song.
of has a godly feel,
Yeah.
which is what it's meant
Yeah,
to, I think.
spiritual.
Yeah.
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 I do remember when he released it on the Christmas Present, being in chat on the day that album came out, and someone said to him, "You've ruined Soul Transmission on this album."
What?
Yeah, they just came out right and said it, that, you know, that song to them, I can't remember who it was, they loved it so much, and in their head he'd ruined it on whatever he'd changed for the Christmas
Because he
Present.
changed it. Changed the arrangement.
Changed the
and things.
arrangement
Yeah.
slightly. And he just said, I think he said to them, "I disagree," or something.
So the one
no.
we're talking about here is the demo,
the demo,
original
yeah.
demo. Yeah.
But they're
I
basically the
respect
same
your
song.
opinion, but you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think it's all that different on the
No, I
Christmas
was just going to
present.
say,
No.
I don't think it is.
I don't.
No, I think they were just being over dramatic.
My music here maybe isn't as tuned as some people. So
But I guess if it's like your favourite song,
Yeah.
then
yeah,
Yeah.
I can see why they might think that.
every little nuance is important.
Yeah.
The video's lovely, isn't it?
Looking at their wedding and how
Yeah.
happy they look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And beautiful.
And we'd like a garden like that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked like a really fun time. And I know, Rob and I do, even though they do a lot of social and promo stuff, they are careful about what they share about their family. So it's quite an intimate sort of situation to share, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it
And
sort of
lovely to
links with
see.
the feeling
Yeah.
of the song, it's kind of quite a
Yeah.
vulnerable sort of
A personal
place, yeah.
song, and a
Yeah.
personal video. Yeah,
And a cheap video because his brother filmed it.
yeah.
His brother-in-law
brother-in-law to
filmed
do
it.
it for now. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, so should we move on to White Man in Hanoi?
Yeah, let's do that.
Another demo.
Yeah, keep going with about 50
man?
times.
Yeah.
And
White man. I like it. I know everybody else around the table isn't
well,
blown away by it. But yes, it's repetitive chorus, but it's about white man in
it definitely is.
I
I don't know why I like it. I just like it. End of.
I generally skip it.
Yeah. Repetitive.
It's funny, I can listen to it and I enjoy the beginning because I love that sort of rock feel. It really starts building up, and then just that repetitive line just gets on my nerves.
I just listened to it yesterday. I didn't listen to it right to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you listen
like
to
it.
the...
You were like,
I don't
yeah,
like it that
okay.
much.
You can skip it now. It was written by Rob, Tim and Flynn, and also produced by Tim and Flynn. So it's a bit different to a lot of the other
Yeah, it's
Things
not
that they-
typically them, is it?
who were doing.
Yeah. It's
If you think,
different.
compare it to Take the Crown album,
Yeah.
which they wrote. Yeah.
I've got, I don't know why I wrote this down, Lucy, you can probably tell me. Mannequin, divine intervention, misguided direction is my new obsession.
That's one of the lines, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what it's about.
Other than
I always
the white
think that
man
Lucy's
line.
going to know what these lines are actually about, so I like to sort of
No, I don't know.
see.
I think it's about a mannequin. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The film.
It could be.
Yeah, I just can't get past the chorus to
Yeah,
really.
the title lyric is
listen to
repeated
the words of the verses.
a lot. There's no doubt that he's the white man in Hanoi. Or is he? Or is he talking about somebody else? I don't know.
I don't
Oh,
really.
yeah.
I don't listen to it enough to work it out.
All right, let's leave it.
Okay,
Let's
You know.
yeah,
move on.
leave that where it is. Let's talk about The Promise. So The Promise was written by Rob and Paul Freeman and produced by Jackknife Lee Garrett. Rob said, "The Promise is my Christmas song at the time. The different EP was released 1 week before Christmas, hence 2 Christmas songs. He's written quite a few more since then, as we know.
Yeah.
We thought it was interesting that he didn't include it on the Christmas present, but he did include Soul Transmission that we was just talking about. So what do you think? What do you think about The Promise?
I do like it. It's a beautiful kind of song, but it's quite depressing. It feels.
Well, he starts off singing about coffins, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And
Yeah, it can
Yeah.
only get
a
better
lot
after
more.
that line.
But I personally, I love it. I
Yeah.
do. I love the song. And the first time I heard it was on a fan's video
Mm-hmm.
that they'd made a video montage of their Robbie journey, basically, and used The Promise as a soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a very beautiful song. Yeah, but yes,
I think it is.
not
I think
upbeat or anything.
No.
Not
Oh, no,
poppy.
it's definitely
not
beautiful.
poppy.
It's fairly simple, acoustic.
Yeah,
His voice.
yeah.
Easy to listen
Class.
to.
Yeah.
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 And he sings it very well.
It does.
And it sounds like he means it when he sings
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me,
And I know you say it's depressing, but I don't know whether Not sure. Is it a sad song?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, isn't it? It's about broken promises, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's about the promises that we all make that we can't keep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've written some lyrics down.
I love you
Right.
forever. You can't make. Well, you all say everybody says it,
Yeah.
but you can't. It's impossible to love somebody forever because
True.
nobody's here forever.
Yeah.
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 And so, it's to me that's what
Yeah.
the song's really
Yeah.
about. Is those sort of promises that we all say, and the impossible promises.
Yeah. True.
And, yeah.
It's the line, there'll be no Christmas anymore, no tiny footsteps at our door. That always gets me.
Yeah.
Let the rings fall from our fingers as if they were never worn. Is it about a relationship that's
Well,
broken down, or
obviously,
has someone
yeah.
died? That's what I can never quite work
Well,
out. Well, it was, I guess, because of the
I think
coffin at the beginning.
He's making the allegory between the two, isn't he?
Right.
It's like at the end of a relationship can be like
Yeah.
like a death.
That's true. Yeah.
Whether somebody dies or not,
Yeah.
if they're not in your
Yeah.
life anymore.
Yeah.
God, that's deep. Bit deep, isn't it?
Very,
Yeah.
very deep on the Robbie Williams Rewind.
Let's go back to
podcast.
White Man.
The ups and downs.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else on that one then, Liz?
No.
But I do like it. So,
Yeah, it is. It is.
So we'll
nice.
keep
It's a
it that
lovely
one.
song.
Look, that's
That's a keeper.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to Room 101.
No,
right,
it's not
okay. Different show.
So the next one is not exactly a B-side, but Robbie did a duet with Dizzee Rascal, Going Crazy, and that was released around this sort of time on the 16th of June 2013. It got to number 5 in the UK, spending 4 weeks in the top 40. It was also number 25 in Ireland, 32 in Germany, 35 in Denmark, and 38 in Belgium. Dizzee apparently originally gave the track to Example to sing the chorus, but he didn't want it, paving the way for Robbie to sing it.
Nice.
It worked, didn't
Did work, yeah. Dizzee said he was excited to team up with Robbie for his new song and said, it's just one of those things. I actually recorded the song a year before, last year in LA. Robbie's name came up this year. And when I heard that, I thought, yeah, that makes total sense. But then he'd only record it as long as I was there. So I had to fly out to his house in LA. It's not often on these things that you sit in the same studio anymore. He told me some amazing stories. And Robbie apparently was also feeling the love. And Robbie said, the song instantly sounded like a smash. I love Dizzy's vibe, his energy, and he is a real talent. He seems to be the voice of this generation. So it was a no-brainer.
So Dizzee told The Sun, I worked with Tim Anderson from I'm a Robot on that track. When he first played it to me, I was literally going crazy for it. I got really excited because it's a guitar track, and I thought I could do an indie pop song with a hip-hop element to it. They were looking for someone to sing it, and had a few people in mind. Robbie's name came up at a meeting, and I just thought he would be wicked.
Wicked.
And Rob told The Sun, I was expecting Dizzee to come round to my place in LA for an hour. He got round at 6 p.m. We chatted for hours and he left at 6 a.m. Then he said he wanted the song to sound like Queen. It was a great night. I have never been so urban. When I heard Dizzee wanted me, I was like, fuck yes. He only deals in bangers and life is getting shorter for me. So yeah, I love this song.
A lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
They probably had a real lot of fun doing it. And
Yeah. They sung it together at the Radio 1's Big Weekend. I don't know if you remember seeing a video of that.
we too old with Radio 1's Big Weekend. Come on. We're too old for that for years.
Well, they sung it together at Ebrington Square in Derry, Northern Ireland. And when you watch it, Rob jumps down off the stage to go and see the crowd along the barrier.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't show it, but basically he can't get back up onto the stage.
But he's probably at his back. He knows doing it. Idiot.
And so in the end,
Probably
Dizzee
completely
had
unplanned,
to go
right?
and join
I
him
remember it
because
now.
they were just completely apart
Yeah.
for the whole song. And then, Robbie couldn't get back up, but he'd made no attempt to try and get back up. But you could see he wasn't
Yeah.
getting
Stuck.
back up there. Yeah,
Didn't want to cramp anybody's style or,
but the crowd are going crazy for him, and they were young
yeah, different crowd.
people,
Yeah.
and they were all loving it. But we've got to talk about the video.
Didn't they also
The
sing it on the
video.
Voice Live final?
Oh, yeah, they did. as well,
Yeah.
I remember my parents were with us when we were watching that.
Yeah.
My dad was distinctly unimpressed.
Yeah. He wasn't too into it, was he?
That's what parents are for.
Yeah.
That's what parents are for.
How about your mum? She's a
Impressed.
Robbie fan. I think she enjoyed
She
it.
would have enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
my dad was just, what is this you're making me watch?
Yeah. Yeah, we do have to talk about the video.
Yeah.
Remember the video?
The video.
Alan,
The
Sarah?
video.
Right.
Yeah. You were very close when that
I was,
video was being
I found
shot,
out
weren't
on
you?
the train on the way back from London. I'd been to a trade show,
Mm-hmm.
and found out when I got back on social media on the train that they'd been filming just round the corner.
Did you not see any mobility scooters in the area with
I
lots
know.
of wing mirrors and things?
Looking like Harley Davidsons. No, I didn't.
For those people that can't remember what the video was about,
I would have gone to try and disrupt it in mythical style.
it was in quite a narrow sort of London street, wasn't it? With
It was
mobility
in
scooters
Dalston.
flying around. And
Dalston in East London.
Dalston.
Yeah, it says they're seen driving around London on pimped out mobility scooters as
Go on.
the leaders of two street gangs of senior citizens.
Oh, so funny.
You would have fit right in, Alan.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
And I got a
Lucy.
part, I'm sure.
You could have been an extra.
Sorry.
That's why we
Cheap
need an
thing.
old person. Come here.
Apparently, it was all done in one take. It was directed by Andreas Nilsson, who's made videos for Kanye West, among others.
Yeah.
And Dizzee said to The Sun, "As soon as I heard Quadrophenia, I was signed up for the video idea. The Mods and Rockers idea is right up my street." And also, we went to FanFest, which
Yeah.
is a Robbie charity event, and they had the Robbie's mobility scooter there. didn't
Yeah,
they?
with all the wing mirrors and all the
Yeah.
regalia on it. Yeah.
Lots
Forgotten
of
that.
photos.
Yeah.
That was funny, wasn't it, when they wheeled that in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember who was driving
I can't
it.
remember who was driving
It was a
but-
pretty zippy little machine, from what I remember. I reckon they must have tuned it
Yeah.
up a bit.
That was funny.
The video's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because at one point I know he sort of stands up on the mobility scooter, and you can see it's a little bit awkward, and then he sits, and then Dizzee does it, and then they sit back down again, just in case they fall off.
Maybe we'll do that again. Yeah.
Don't know whether that was
cracks me up.
choreographed or not, but their voices really work well together.
Yeah.
It just sounds really, really good.
It's a good fun song. It was
Yeah.
a good fun song, a good fun video.
It'd be fun to see him sing that live at some point, I
Yeah.
think. But obviously, you'd have to have Dizzee there, really.
Dizzee just comes bursting out onto the stage.
Yeah.
on a scooter.
Yeah.
Mobility's really, really slowly on a mobility scooter.
Yeah, we'll keep that one.
The song received nominations at the World Music Awards for the world's best song and the world's best video.
Yeah.
Just nominations, though, I'm assuming.
Yeah, didn't win.
Yeah.
But still, that's still
That's
good.
Yeah.
still quite good.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it's one a good
Yeah.
video. I'm certainly never going to forget it.
And also the line, every single morning, wake up in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That is Rob.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I believe. I'm going crazy. I believe I'm losing my mind. That's just me. Sorry.
It's not the song. Yeah.
okay, so the next song is a charity song that Robbie was involved in. It's the Justice Collective. He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. It was spearheaded by Peter Hooton of The Farm. It was a charity song to raise funds for charities associated with the 1989 Hillsborough disaster. Guy Chambers offered free use of his Sleeper studios to record and produce it. It included Mel C, Jerry Marsden, Paul Heaton, Rebecca Ferguson, Holly Johnson, Paloma Faith, Beverly Knight, Paul McCartney, Shane McGowan, and even Elton John on
Wow.
piano.
Is it all?
And that wasn't even all of them. I think there was even
Yeah,
more
I think it
than that.
was more.
It was released on the 17th of December 2012, the same day as the different EP, and it made Christmas #1, beating X Factor winner James Arthur to the spot. And the video is basically the typical charity song format of showing each person singing their line. It was originally recorded by Kelly Gordon in 1969. It became a hit by the Hollies later that year and was a minor hit for Neil Diamond in 1970. And it was written by Bobby Scott and Bob Russell. So yeah, remember
Classic.
this?
So how many words did Rob actually sing in
I
the
think
song?
well, recognisably, he sings "He's My Brother,"
Yeah.
and then he sings "No burden is he to bear, we'll get there," and then other than that, it's like a chorus of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure.
It's 12 exclusive words.
Yeah.
He made the video.
But his voice is really recognisable on
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other people's I felt weren't as recognisable.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't pick out Paul McCartney, which
Yeah.
weird.
He's pretty distinctive, isn't he? Paul
but I couldn't.
McCartney.
And Rebecca Ferguson, she was very easy to spot amongst them because she's got a very unique voice. But I don't know
Again,
where
a lot
she
of
is
that's
now.
down to production, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
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 Did they record it all together? Did they do it
Oh,
separately?
they must have done it separately.
Separately, yeah.
Yeah.
Which must be a bit odd.
don't know. Pre-COVID, they could have all been in the same studio.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah.
I just think it's a classic song.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
I mean, and they were raising money for such a tragic, horrible, you know,
Yeah.
thing that happened. And I looked into it actually because I can't believe, you know, that disaster happened in 89 and 97 people were killed and there were 765 injuries. And then, as we know, there was loads of different cover-ups and lies. And it wasn't actually until 2016, 2017 that the final inquest took place and justice was actually served.
Yeah.
So, really long time.
On a slightly lighter note,
Yeah.
one Liverpudlian apparently bought 96 copies because at that point only 96 had
yeah.
died. One for each of the lives lost, which is a lovely thing that they did. Yeah. But yeah, not a nice thing to think about, really.
No. Let's move on.
But a
Yeah.
good song.
Yeah.
A good song.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Oh my God,
Good
he was
song.
part of it.
Yeah, definitely. Being a football fan, it was good.
Yeah, let's talk about Let's Go All the Way. So this is a song from the Wonder Girls featuring Ashley Hamilton and Robbie, obviously. Rock supergroup from 99 featured Scott Weiland from the Stone Temple Pilots, Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray, Ian Astbury of The Cult, Shannon Leto of 30 Seconds to Mars, and others. They only recorded 2 songs, a cover of Let's Go All the Way in a more rock style than the original, and Drop That Baby, both featuring Ashley Hamilton. The project was revived in 2013 when Ashley Hamilton played Firepower in Iron Man 3, and it was used for Iron Man 3 Heroes Fall, a soundtrack of music inspired by the film. This time, Robbie on vocals with Ashley. The soundtrack was released on the 30th of April 2013.
And the song was originally by Sly Fox, released in 1985. It got to number 3 in the UK and number 7 in the US, but I don't remember it.
That's because you're young.
I know.
Baby's young. I remember it. Yeah.
We're not ageist on this podcast. Much.
But personally, I can't hear Robbie in this song. You said you thought you
Well,
could.
we
Heard
just-
him at the beginning.
We all
and then
just
we
listened
lose
to it, didn't we? It was at the beginning, Sarah. So.
Yeah, definitely the beginning. But whether it's him that carries on,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think it's just highly produced, and I think he's on there quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does seem as though the voices have been tweaked quite a lot because I love the rock vibe of the song, but the voices sort of blend into the music, if you know what I mean.
That's
It's sort of-
exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems as though in the first few lines, I think they switch. I think Robbie starts and then Ashley Hamilton takes over, but
Yeah.
it's hard to tell. Tell us, Robbie.
Yeah,
He can't remember.
you won't be able to remember.
He's definitely on it though.
Well, it says he was on
Definitely.
it,
At the
but
beginning,
I can't
it's
hear him.
definitely him.
Yeah. But
But he does
it's not a
get
song that I
lost.
need to listen to very often, but we're just registering the fact that
Have
It
you heard of the
happened.
Wonder Girls
It
before?
was there.
no.
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 No. Have you heard of the Wonder Girls?
No.
Well, they only released those 2 songs, so, and I don't know why they're called the Wonder Girls.
It was just,
when
like,
it seems
it was just like a
mainly
special
men,
project of
Yeah.
people just coming together and
just to do something because
Yeah.
they fancied it. I guess I don't know.
Be
Weird.
another one that's just shoved away on his corner of his hard drive somewhere, won't he?
I mean,
Shove that on.
it's always nice to be able to make a Marvel reference, though. You know, Iron Man
Yeah.
3, good film.
Good film.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Okay, so let's move on to talk about the concerts that Robbie played at the O2. He did 3 nights in a row on the 22nd, 23rd and 24th of November 2012. Apparently 54,305 tickets were sold,
To be precise.
which is 96% of the tickets available. So nearly
Wow.
a sellout. The concerts were all recorded and released as instant limited edition live albums on CD, which you could collect straight after the concert if you pre-ordered them. And the final night was broadcast live on the internet as well as on Sky One, and was directed by Hamish Hamilton, who's done a lot of his live TV shows.
And so it featured Gary Barlow and Guy as guests on different nights. And he actually hadn't worked with Guy since 2002. Rob said in rehearsals, Guy Chambers, my erstwhile songwriting partner, is here. He's my brother. It's great sharing a stage with him, and I love him to bits. Guy said, last time I was playing on a stage with him, it was 10 years ago. So it's been really nice to do it again. It's going to be very emotional on Thursday because my children are coming and they've never seen me in an arena. They've seen me in a local pub, but they haven't seen me doing a massive gig with a massive superstar. Rob sang Eternity, Mr. Bojangles, and She's the One with Guy. So that was a big gap, wasn't it? 10 years.
Yeah. And Gary made an appearance on the 23rd of November, just one night, and they sung 8 letters and different in the encore. And that night Rob dropped She's the One. Paul Beard was the musical director on those few gigs. And I think he played the keyboards as well, filling in where Guy used to. The Guardian gave the show 4 stars out of 5. There's not much of the big visual gimmickry that tends to mark out pop shows. It relies on Williams' personality and arsenal of hits to carry it, which they do. It all suggests that at 38, Williams has decided to embrace what he always was, but appeared most troubled by the prospect of being a sort of cross between a pop star and a light entertainer. If that sounds like an insult, it's not intended as one. The prerequisite of a light entertainer is that they're entertaining, which Williams' live show really is.
Rod would have loved that comment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He would have loved that
That is basically him, isn't it?
Calling him
Yeah.
a light entertainer is the greatest
Yeah.
compliment, I think.
Yeah,
I
He would
agree.
like somebody
which is
to
why I
say.
liked that quote.
Yeah. But one thing I haven't mentioned, and
Yeah.
the thing that I think was most striking to me at the beginning was it was in the round.
In
Oh,
the
of course.
round.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the first time
in the
that
round.
we'd seen in the
So-
round.
Quite a simple setup in the
wrapped
round. Nice
round
stage, but yeah.
Sort of
audience.
had sort of a funny little, what does he call it? The ego walk? Ego? What does he call those bits that stick out into the
Thrusts.
crowd? Yeah.
That's what,
It had those on each end
Each
as well,
end, yeah.
didn't it?
yeah.
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 Yeah, there was 2 B stages.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a clever
One on each
stage.
end. Yeah,
I thought
it
it
was
was.
clever.
I thought it was a clever staging.
Yeah.
I thought it were, especially in the O2,
Yeah.
because we went to. We went to all of them.
Just
we,
all of
we
them.
didn't plan to go to all of them. We bought tickets seated tickets for the first night.
Oh, that's when we went, which was seated. We were seated.
Yeah. But we were right up
Right
in
up at the top.
We're right up where all the signs are. If you suffer from vertigo,
Yeah.
this calorie level
That's
may
high,
not be suitable for you. And it was very steep. But it was a brilliant place to watch the show,
Yeah, it was.
in inverted commas.
And you still really felt like you were part of it.
And it
I
did.
don't know
It
how,
felt.
but you really did.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking back, it felt quite close thinking
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to it. But I'm sure at the time we
Yeah.
probably thought we were miles away. But really, we were doing our fan thing of seeing what the show was, so you could pick your right spot
Aha.
for the night after.
Was he drawing a diagram up there?
But
So
then that went horribly wrong.
Oh. Why? What happened the next
Because
night?
when they took us in, like they do in let you in the thing where we wanted to go, they wouldn't let you go that way.
Oh.
We wanted to go left.
They filled half up before they
And they
opened
said-
the other half.
And so we said,
well,
let's
that's
go right,
annoying.
and so we thought, well, we'll walk right round this stage and come at it from the other side. And then we got down the bottom of the stage and we couldn't get past. There was a line of security stopping you going that way. So we stood exactly where we didn't want to be stood, really. But it turned out quite nice because Gary came and shook my hand.
Yeah, it was a good place.
I don't know whether I
The
mentioned that
next
last
night we
pod.
went to the other side. So.
And then Rob came and shook
felt
my hand as well.
Oh, on his way in or out?
Out.
Right.
on the way out. When he was rushing out, there was like 4 security,
Yeah.
and he was in the middle. And he got to a house, and he just walked out from the security, came over, like everybody's going, what's he doing? Oh, thank you for coming, he said. I'm like looking at him thinking, you're mad. Thank you for coming. I don't want to be there. But then, I know you said he dropped She's the One that night.
Yeah.
He put it back in the night after.
That's right.
Because it was when they just sat down to sing She's the One. On the piano, he saw us. He just went, hello again. And it's ever so clear on the recording.
That was the first live CD that we'd ever had from a gig, though, wasn't it? The old two.
Oh, hello again. Just in the opening line of the song, wasn't it?
Yeah, because in the
He overplayed
DVD,
that.
in the DVD that we watched, She's the One was on the DVD.
Yeah, because that was the Saturday night,
Yeah.
which is the night.
That was
The
the
night that
TLT
you,
night,
the night
wasn't
you're
it?
talking
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Yeah, because we went on the Thursday. I think we might have gone with my friend Natalie from episode 1.
Yeah, I think
can't
so.
quite remember.
I think we were with someone else, yeah.
And I think we only had seats because she didn't want to queue. So we were like, oh, we'll just get the seats then.
I don't think she could. There was...
O2's great for queuing because you're inside.
I know.
Under this inclement weather queuing,
Yeah.
there, it's great. You're
So
inside
the
and there's
queuing, the glamping equivalent of queuing.
there's outlets for coffee and food.
Yeah.
It's just all you want
it
in
is
the queue.
perfect.
Nearby
it's
toilets.
amazing. And the security were really good with us, weren't they?
Dry.
Well,
Lovely.
I said they were really good with it. Basically, what I mean by that is they let me do what I wanted.
Didn't go to bed for 3 days.
Gate number
Did
F.
you? No. We came out of one gig into the queue for the next gig.
Oh,
You didn't go to bed for 3 days?
Well,
I didn't sleep.
at all.
I
wow.
didn't sleep for 3 days.
But it got worse as you went on. Like
Things you do for Robbie,
I
eh?
did. I was getting more hyper.
you weren't
as
getting
it was.
hyper.
Oh.
But it was funny at the end.
Overtired.
The security at the venue, at the end, they just said, "I'll go and see my blue jumper." People are asking questions. Go and
This
see
was
my
Alan
blue
in his
jumper.
job of managing the queue again, right? Yeah.
Well, it was
In
before
full.
queuing, really. We didn't even
before.
know you
No,
then.
we did.
No.
Didn't we?
No.
We
I
didn't
had
know
no.
anything about
I had about 10 friends on Facebook.
Right.
Oh, at
And,
that point?
At that point.
Oh.
And I went round the queue saying, "Can I add you on Facebook?"
Did you?
Haley and all that lot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not just random people, but
No, the queuing people and,
Yeah,
and people
yeah.
have been talking to. And
Yeah.
that's
Just
why
people having
them.
lunch
just
in the
people
O2.
sort of,
I've
back
got no
the clinic.
friends. Can I add you?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody likes me. Please like me. And that was really the start of our Robbie adventure, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That one
Brilliant.
coming on the heels of the ballroom gig. It was
Because it was only,
exciting times.
I guess, well, about 2 months after the ballroom gigs.
I think the
wasn't it?
tickets went on sale pretty much straight after those ballroom
that's
gigs,
right.
did they? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my gran had died a few days, well, about 10 days before these
Yeah.
concerts. So to me, it just reminds me when he sung Angels that night and he said, sing it up for those. That was the most poignant
Very.
Angels ever for me. Yeah.
Yeah, we were the second night, the middle night, when he sang Karma Killer.
Yeah.
He stood right in front of us. Well, he was stood right in front of me on that end of the B stage. And that's the song I remember most from that night, to be honest.
Mm.
I love that song so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
When he was on the pulpit.
I think I did
Yeah.
shout something rude about
You did shout a very
Nigel.
rude word.
Yeah.
Is that where he says, and Nigel Martin
intrigued.
Smith is
Yeah.
a very
Yes.
Yeah.
nice man, but one of them, I'm trying to remember what on the Thursday night. 'cause
Yeah, I
on-
shouted something very, very rude.
But didn't Robbie say something rude on the first night, or did he always say a very nice man?
No, I think he always said a very
I
nice
can't
man.
remember.
I don't know.
Because I think each night was being recorded in
on
some
the
way.
CD, of course.
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
think he had to get careful what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't long after the time there was all the talk of suing and
Yeah.
wasn't the litigation coming.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a very nice man.
No,
We all know he wasn't
we
a
all
very
know
nice
that.
man.
Yes, actually, when I looked at it and compared all the set lists from all his tours, this set list at these shows was the longest he'd ever done in any show to date, including tracks from 8 albums. So, shall I go through the set list?
Yeah, let's hear the set list.
Hey Wow Yeah Yeah, Let Me Entertain You, Lazy Days, Karma Killer, Candy, Rock DJ, Gospel, Monsoon, Eternity, Mr. Bojangles, She's the One, Be a Boy, Come Undone, Bodies, Feel, Not Like the Others, Millennium, Hot Fudge, Kids, Strong, 8 Letters, Different, Angels and Losers.
That's a great set list.
What?
I mean, that is why those gigs were so
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah,
put
it's
his
tweaked
heart
for
and soul
Take the
into
Crown,
that.
but that was
Well, when we
you
watched
could
it
see
back
where
on the
it's connected.
DVD, there was no. I was like,
It just kept going.
It's still going.
We had
you
to
know.
actually stop it and go to bed
Yeah,
because it was
that's
getting
what-
too
yeah,
late and watch
getting
the rest
old.
the following night.
Phenomenal.
And the energy on that stage,
Yeah.
the way the stage was, backwards
Yeah.
and forwards. And
Wasn't
Yeah.
he a bit? He was a bit nervous beforehand about
Yeah.
being in. I remember he talked a lot about being in the round, and I remember him like being excited about the round, but then not being sure about, because you've always got your arse
You're
facing.
back to sort it, haven't you? Yeah.
we liked it.
It is.
I liked the round.
really
Yeah, we did.
worked.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was
And-
good because it was Bodies, wasn't it? When they did Tell Me Bodies was in the
Bodies
Yeah, it
was
was
in
in the
it.
set
Yeah.
list, yeah.
They did something really clever with the lights above the stage.
Was
Lots
that
of,
when they had all
um,
the big Robbie heads?
There was lots
like
of
glitter
skulls
balls?
and
No,
projected
it wasn't,
images.
it wasn't like that. It was
I think
some sort of laser effect
I
on
think
it.
a screen dropped
Screen,
down,
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
translucent.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, like a
yeah.
holograph sort of
And they
Yeah.
projected
thing, wasn't
onto
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
was
I'm
really
here
good.
to
I think it was
remember these things
skulls
for
that
you.
they projected, and then
Yeah, no, I thought the production of it was.
and I remember,
Just good.
as we all know, Robbie likes a good pointing stick, and he had his extra special pointing stick out for particularly for Lazy Days. They did a remixed version of Lazy Days,
Yeah.
and he sort of walking around pointing at the crowd with his stick.
Hasn't he got
Yes.
another name for his stick? What's
Has he got a special name for
I
that
can't
stick?
remember what he calls it.
Maybe.
I like, he said, remember when I said grow old with me? Well, here we are. It came a bit
Yeah.
too quick, don't you think?
Yeah,
Special moment there, that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it was only 9 years after Nebworth at that point, but it feels like a lot longer.
Yeah, there was a lot went on in those 9 years. Well,
Yeah.
not a lot, not a lot.
Yeah.
It was. It was his comeback. Was that
Yeah.
those 3 gigs just cemented him back at the
Yeah.
top of the entertainment tree for me.
Definitely.
And Flynn and Tim
Yeah.
were there
Were they?
Yeah.
in the audience.
Yeah.
Well, they certainly were on the DVD
Oh.
when the DVD was
Yeah.
recorded. So he had all his musical buddies around him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guy
Must've
as
been
well.
cool.
And Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were all there.
Yeah, there was a lot of healing had gone on, and
Yeah.
just prior to that show, and I think that show just sort of,
It felt good.
just pinnacle did to us. Wasn't
I mean, I'm just pleased that Not Like the Otters, others was
Yeah.
in there as well. I thought of you, Alan, when that came on.
You didn't even know him then.
And it was still.
But when I was rewatching it,
Oh,
I
okay.
thought of it. Always getting corrected.
But I
honestly.
know after wasn't during the podcast last time, was it? But we talked about American Paul. That was because he mentioned American Paul
Yeah, I
Yeah.
on the
remember that.
first night.
Yeah,
and
because
then
we were there and I remember him saying something to
saying
American
about
Paul.
American Paul, who'd written some nice things about him on there and his work on his
Brilliant.
It was probably the blog.
on the
at
blog,
that time.
whatever it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I saw him in the cafe outside, and I nearly went up and spoke to him, and then there was that many people, and we didn't, and but it wasn't until Wembley later that we actually got to meet Paul, and nice lad, really nice bloke. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Robbie said something along the lines of, "Oh, look, it's my one American fan."
my one
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
fan. Yeah,
Here you are.
Although we do know now he's got more than.
Yeah, we
but he
know.
still
We
likes
do
to
know.
make the same
he
jokes.
Two or
still
three.
makes the same joke now.
The same
One
jokes.
American.
When he always offends all of them
Yeah.
and none of them at the same time. The other thing I noticed in the DVD is you two make a couple of appearances, obviously, particularly
What
on
you do
Hot Fudge.
when you get to the front.
Hot
Yeah.
fudge.
Hot
Really?
Fudge extended version. I think it was slightly.
At the O2.
Yeah,
I spotted you on it. You were not quite on the barrier, but you were still very close. You were kind of 2 or 3 people back.
it looked
No.
like that from.
It was you. May have
Oh,
just
we'll
been
have to
the
look.
camera angle. Hot
we'll have
Fudge.
to
get the
Look out for
DVD.
that.
Hot Fudge. When we went to Tallinn, which we'll come on to later, when they asked me what my favourite part of the show was, I told them it was Hot Fudge. It was,
Yeah.
to me, everything led up to Hot Fudge.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you must have been really
and then
going for it because you were on there.
That was like the
That's
crescendo,
unusual.
and it just it kept me at that level until the end of the show. It was brilliant. So I loved the Hot Fudge.
And of course, we talked about Losers, didn't we?
Yeah.
On the last
when
episode.
he sang this with Dinosh as the final song.
The stalls came out and off they went. Amazing.
Yeah, I just love watching them sing together.
Yeah,
amazing.
And also, it was interesting. I worked out that the tickets were announced for the stadium tour on the Monday following those O2 shows. So I do think that he wanted to do those, see how they went, see whether he felt comfortable doing it before they announced a stadium tour.
Right.
Yeah.
Stadiums.
And we were all still in that Robbie bubble from those gigs that we bought
We'd
every
all
day.
spent money on tickets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's buy some more.
It's Christmas, let's buy more tickets.
Yeah, as it always is.
Yeah, it's always Christmas.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed that he said when introducing She's the One on that Saturday night, probably the best song we've ever written together.
I know, but
to Guy.
His daughter was in the audience.
Who, Guy's?
No.
What, Carl Bollinger's?
Yeah.
What, when he said that?
Yeah. Chris Heath, I'm sure it's in Chris Heath's book. Yeah, the latest one. Yeah. So his daughter was in the audience and heard that. And
yeah, that was... When he said that, I was like, why is he saying that?
Do you think he genuinely
Forgot?
No.
Forgot?
I think he does it on purpose to wind Carl
to
up,
wind
doesn't
up.
he?
Yeah.
Wind
But then
up.
he says, I love him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not the way to sort of make friends with him.
No.
No.
God. Yeah, I cringed when he did that. There was no jokey tone in the way he said it either. So.
No. Probably 3/4 of the audience believed that.
Yeah.
That they did actually
And
write
a
it.
lot of people still do think
Yeah,
that,
they do.
don't they?
Yeah. Oops.
Digital Spy said, the star proves his spark is shining brighter than ever. And the Mirror said, still the best showman in British music.
Yeah.
Which is what you want to hear when you've had a break for
Yeah.
6 years.
Bring on those stadiums following that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Talking about stadiums, good segue into Take the Crown Stadium Tour.
Yeah.
Take the Crown Stadium Tour took in 14 countries and 18 cities, and there were 27 shows with 23 songs, his longest set list and show ever. He opened in Dublin on the 13th of June 2013, and then he did 4 nights at the Manchester Etihad, 2 at Glasgow Hampton Park, 4 at Wembley, and then 4 in Germany, 1 each in Amsterdam, Vienna, Sweden, 2 in Denmark, 1 in Italy, Belgium, Croatia, Switzerland, Estonia, and finally Norway. Oh, quite a tour.
And it earned $20 million from just 9 shows at the beginning, coming number 35 in Polestar's mid-year top 100 worldwide tours list. Yeah, we did very well that year.
Yeah.
So this one also had a very long set list. I think it was like 1 song longer than the O2 shows. Shall I read the set list?
Yeah, what did it start with, Alan, do you reckon?
It was longer than the O2 shows. Well, it was
I think it was like
Hey,
1 song
hey.
longer,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Because he did a few sort of medley bits which incorporated
Right, yes, she did.
a few.
Yes, I remember having
Yeah.
an argument
Yeah.
with somebody.
So yeah, it started with
There
Hey
wasn't
Wow
any
Yeah Yeah.
covers. I had to put them right.
Hey Wow Yeah Yeah, Let Me Entertain You, Monsoon, Not Like the Others, Minnie the Moocher. It's the one he did
Yeah.
with Ollie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not Kids.
No,
He did Kids,
Kids
with
with Ollie,
Ollie.
yeah.
Yeah. Sin Sin Sin, Bodies, Come Undone, Walk on the Wild Side, which
Yeah.
merged into Never Forget, Everything Changes, a little bit of that, Strong, Gospel, Be a Boy, Millennium, Better Man, Sexed Up, Me and My Monkey, Candy, Hot Fudge, Rude Box, Rock DJ, Feel, She's the One, and Angels. It features songs from 9 of his albums, as well as some old Take That.
Wow.
So it really went into the back catalogue.
Yeah, it did.
That's why it was so good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, it was amazing. He did the rehearsals at his Wiltshire house at the time, and then he moved to Belgium at the Expo Palais 5 in Brussels. And Rob said, thanks to Take That and their huge productions, we've got one too.
Yeah.
Willie Williams, the set designer, said it all started from the album sleeve and that everything felt very integrated with all the big Robbie heads. And Lee Lodge, the show producer, said he's almost bigger than these big pieces. Even though there is a massive head above him, you're still looking at Rob. He's never overshadowed by these pieces.
True.
The first time we watched it, I was convinced that it was being projected on.
Yes.
Onto the
But just
face.
pure projection.
And I couldn't work out how they were doing it. And I spent ages looking at them. And it was, I don't know who it was. It was somebody that I was talking to at the front actually came and said that it's actually LEDs. And it was the paddles, it was the sign paddles that had been used for the Olympics.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You know, when the greeters, the people going in, greeting the crowds, had sign paddles holding them up, and they could change the message on them.
Oh, yeah.
And it was actually those that they'd made into that screen. And
I did watch a video of the making of, and the man was talking about it, saying, they're all
I got it first hand.
Individual.
Because I was saying it. Where's his projector? Where is it?
Does it really matter? Watch the show.
Well, it does. It
was incredible.
To me, that's,
his big head
really
behind it was incredible.
That morphed into the monkey. It was brilliant. It was. It was a stunning thing. But, I mean, now you expect that at every gig, don't you? But back then, it was groundbreaking. It was, to me, I'd never seen anything like it.
Well, following on from Progress, he needed something big.
It was a big show. I mean,
he certainly delivered.
And he said that he said at the time he has a competition with himself about how he enters stage. This time he did a controlled zip wire from the top of that big golden head that we were talking about at the back of the stage to the end of one of his two walkways into the crowd with red smoke coming out of his arse.
Yeah. That always made me laugh, the smoke.
He actually wanted to enter from the opposite end of the stadium, but health and safety vetoed that.
Can you imagine him flying over us?
Other performers have done that.
Well, Pink does it.
Yeah,
but that's
she does a
more
lot
in
of wire.
like an arena, isn't it?
She's come from the back to the front, but I think it's like on like I don't know, a platform.
Not with smoke coming out.
No, not smoke coming out of her arse. It's only Robbie that did that.
And this was the concert that featured an upright red bed into which he'd invite a fan to come to bed with him and sing Strong, and a mini Robbie puppet. And we know quite a few girls who ended up being red bed girls, as they like to be known.
The red bed girls.
I always wanted to know what they would talk about when they disappeared
went down underneath
behind
the
covers. Never know. Even though we've got friends who were in it, never been told.
No.
Who knows?
Tell me.
I'm sure it's not a secret.
I'll ask next time I see one of them.
Bit of grabbing and groping, maybe.
I don't think you should say
He's
that.
used to that, though, isn't he?
Oh, you mean the girls grabbing him?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I think it would have been them grabbing him. Most girls don't seem to mind grabbing his arse when they get on stage.
Yeah. So Robbie announced the tour at a press conference on the 26th of November 2012. He said, "The rumours are true. I'm getting Robbie Williams back together again." The album's called Take the Crown, and I want to go and seal my place in pop history. Before bringing Ollie in to join him, he said, "I'm very, very fortunate to say I have a fantastic support for this stadium tour. He's very excited. I'm very excited. He's my mate and he's a fantastic performer. He's also number one in the charts right now. His album's out this week. He's fantastic. It's Mr. Ollie Mures."
Yes.
As he likes to say.
He was a great support.
It was a great support.
It worked really well.
It worked for Rob and it worked for Ollie, didn't it?
Oh.
It was just the right time for
and the camaraderie and the chemicals, between them, they were just brilliant, weren't they?
Loved it. Loved having Ollie on there because I love Ollie.
Yeah.
Because when he'd been on X Factor, Rob had been his pop star.
Yeah.
And helped. Ollie had helped him.
Lovely
Sing
story
Angels.
that came full circle. Yeah.
In my mind, he's my favourite of all of Robbie's support acts, but that's just because I love Ollie. I know
you're a
you
little
disagree.
bit biased.
I am biased.
It's just
Erasure, yeah.
Erasure were amazing, but I love Ollie. So he said on why he picked Ollie, he's smashing it. He's having hit after hit. He's also a fantastic entertainer. There's not many lads out there that are getting up and shaking their bits and entertaining people. I see a lot of myself in him. We get on like a house on fire. He's a great lad. Hopefully he'll come up and do a song with me on a few nights. He's now the full package from duetting with him on Angels on X Factor to where he is now, 3 albums in, 23-date arena tour he did last year. He's the finished article now, which is true.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my plugs for Ollie in there.
And still now.
I mean, he's still doing it now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's he won't it wouldn't by any means, wasn't he, Ollie?
No.
He's still doing it. He's still packing them in.
Yeah, definitely.
Good on him.
So on why people say he's similar to Ollie, to use everybody's words, I think we're cheeky. I think they like cheeky. We are cheeky. There's not many people that you can actually project that leave those TV shows. That's why people's careers don't take off that much, because they haven't been able to turn themselves into artists. He's got that gift that when he's singing down the tube at you, you think he's singing to you. And I think that's what I do too. There's many reasons why we're similar. Male, cheeky, want to entertain you, want to have a laugh, don't take themselves too seriously. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get out there, have a laugh, entertain.
Ollie's got the X factor, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That little charisma.
That spark.
Yeah.
Forget Joe McElderry. I had to even try and remember his name.
Forget that winner.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So the penultimate date of the tour was the 20th of August 2013 at Tallinn in Estonia, with a crowd of 70,000 people. It was beamed to cinemas in 27 countries around the world. And there was even a competition on Twitter for the cinema with the most tweets mentioned to get a shout out from Robbie live during the show. And some of our friends succeeded in this, getting Birmingham's cinema a shout out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they took over the cinema, didn't they?
And I think that Carl Brazil's mum was in that cinema as well, because she was around there.
Really?
I think that's what Carl said. So yeah, you two went to Tallinn under very special circumstances.
Well, I was trying to think how many dates did we see on that tour?
Didn't you see about 12 or something?
7 or 8, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was probably
UK,
12,
Milan, and Tallinn.
including the O2 gigs, because we sort of lumped them in.
Right.
That's 9. Yeah.
And you were at the opening night in Dublin as well,
We went to the opening night in Dublin.
where it pissed it down.
It did, absolutely shook it down.
Yeah. Got some very good nice poncho photos down with our Irish friends.
But you forget about that when he's on stage, don't you?
Yeah.
Or is it still really annoying?
No, you do forget, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Well, the show's on.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. He could do anything.
Well, there was so much going on in that show with the heads
Yeah.
going up and down the walkways and him
It was
flying
a proper
in.
show,
And
wasn't it? Yeah. And so we entered the competition.
But you didn't just enter a competition. You had to do something to
You had to make
What
a
did you
win that
1-minute video.
competition. Tell us what you did.
tell us all about your video.
Yes, Alan.
I could probably recite the whole 1 minute thing, but I'm not going to.
We've got a minute.
Yes, I just put a lot of photographs together and did a little talk over the top of it.
What was the question that you were having to answer though? What did they say?
What does Robbie
Land,
mean?
what does Robbie
mean to you?
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but it wasn't just a load of photos. You did something quite unique.
only the end bit.
Oh, was that only at the end? Right. That's the only bit that I remember.
I got everybody. It was after a gig. Where was it? Manchester. Where I got everybody in front of the stage.
Can't remember.
And I said, "What does Robbie mean to me?" And they said, "You brought me all this love and all these friends."
Oh yeah, I do remember that bit. I was thinking more of
Coming down on the zip wire.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
wasn't-
the unofficial
that was,
video.
That was just a thing I did for Facebook for a laugh.
What? So that wasn't the actual video that you
No.
entered?
No. No.
Because we voted for yours to win.
We did vote
Very
for you.
few people that did, I'll tell you.
Oh, what? So the Robbie cardboard cutout that you got at the signing?
Yeah, that
going
was
down the
nothing.
zip wire
we
in your
didn't do that.
garden.
I just did
Setting
that for a
fire
laugh.
behind the fence.
Oh, I thought that was the video that you entered.
My flamethrower, my fire extinguisher's going off. No, I just did that for a laugh.
You're going to have to find a link to this real video.
To hear wow wow.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
no, my proper video that I submitted.
You're going to have to show
was
us the full
just-
video.
No, I do remember that now that you're talking about that.
Yeah.
But in my head, it was the Robbie going down the zip line
Right.
that I
No.
And then
So we entered the and you had to get Facebook votes, which was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Because as part of the competition, to vote, you had to give access to your friends list and things, and people were nervous about doing it, which I don't
And then when
blame
people
them.
voted,
just a like,
they had to.
yeah.
They had to give their details as well. I think.
Yeah.
Got
But
the most
anyway,
votes from the status quo queue at
Yeah,
Scarborough.
we did. Yeah.
What, you went up to a queue?
Yeah.
We went up to a queue at
Open
the
Air
Open Air
Theatre.
Theatre for Status Quo
Status
on the
Quo.
last day.
Will you vote for me? This
Will you
Robbie
vote for
Williams
me, please?
competition. You can
And
imagine
we spent hours in the queue, going up and down. And we got a few votes.
Wow.
We did.
Well
yeah,
done.
It worked.
Yeah, it did. And so we ended up, we were third, fourth.
Fifth.
How many
think it was
places
fifth.
were
Fifth.
there?
There was
Do you know?
5.
Only 5.
Yeah,
I
5.
think you
Went
just
on the
scraped
right.
it.
vote.
didn't
We
you?
just scraped in.
So you got one of the 5 places.
I've got one of the 5 places.
And what did
we
that
got-
get you? What happened next?
So, we were actually in Milan, weren't we, for the Milan gig when I found out they contacted us to tell me we'd won.
Yeah, you got an email when we were in Italy to say,
So I was immediately elated. My wife was less than elated because it was one person.
Was it?
Yeah.
it worked out okay in the
And
end,
then-
but at that point,
and
we
then-
had no idea
and
that
then
I would be
I got
able to go.
I got an email saying, look, we know that Sarah's obviously a massive part of your Robbie story. And we wouldn't want you to come on your own, so you can bring Sarah.
Oh, my
So she
God.
came round pretty quick at that point.
He was out of the doghouse at that point, right?
But I didn't know at that point that I would be able to go to the meet and greet, did I?
No, you didn't. No.
So you would have
No.
gone to the concert,
Yes.
but you
could go
wouldn't.
to the, yeah.
You didn't know whether you'd be
No.
able to go to the meet and greet.
Oh,
It turned out good. It turned out.
So all those other people in the meet and
actually,
greet came on their own.
The other funny story about Milan was it was a closing date on the day, I think, of the gig.
right.
And I took a banner. We take banners to the gigs all the time
Yeah.
because that's what we do. On my banner said was, "Have I won?"
Oh yeah.
And I held
held
it
it
up.
up in
And
front of your
we
face.
were at the barrier. We were sort of about 5 or 6 back on the B stage. And anyway, when he came on the B stage, I held this banner up. Have I won? And he looked at it. And he went, yeah, and put his thumb up, and yeah. And I thought, oh, great one. Turned out I had one. You see? So there you go.
But he didn't know if you
So
won.
when we got to Tallinn, they did a setup similar to this in a hotel room, and
Yeah.
there's the video somewhere. Yeah, sat you down and how did you feel when you knew the one? So I told this story about how Rob had told me he'd won while he was on stage, and that was marvellous. Actually, we went to the meet and greet, and Rob walked in and hello and everything, and then he looks at me. He said, "Alan, you had that banner, didn't you, in Milan?" They said, "Have I won?" He said, "What's that about this?" I'm like, "What do you think it was about?" He says, "I didn't have a clue." He says, "But I thought if you'd entered some, you probably would anyway." And I tried to get the footage of both of those to put them together because it would just be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I tried, but I couldn't get it.
Oh.
Robbie's not
Yeah, it
normally
was
on
so
the inside
funny.
track on these things, is he? So,
Last one to know.
So
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
But we got 4 days in Tallinn, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Four,
were looked after by the Estonian Tourist Board.
right.
And given a very nice hotel. There was lots of goodies in the hotel
Lovely.
room for things, and we were taken around to all the lovely tourist spots and all the top end restaurants, and treated like kings right up until after the meet and greet, where we just became sort of like production people.
We had our own Robbie Williams bus,
It's just
didn't we?
slop. Getting there. Yeah, we had our own sign-written minivan, luxury
Nice.
minivan to take us around these places. And Tamu, the driver, who was lovely. And of course, I mean, the big story of the whole 4 days was the scrapbook. Because when we won, I was inundated with requests. Oh, will you take Rob this teddy bear, and will you take him this, and will you take him
Will
that?
you ask him this? Will you?
Will you give him this card? Will you? And do you know what I mean? And I didn't like to say no. So I thought, so we had an idea, and I said, look, we will make a scrapbook of our journey. We called it From Barbados to Tallinn.
Yeah.
And we got all our friends and all our Robbie friends and anybody else that was in Robbie land that we didn't really know to send us a picture and a short message. And I said, I'll put it in the scrapbook. We'll put it in the scrapbook and I will take it with us. Which was great up until the time we got to Tallinn. And the first thing they said to us at the meet and greet, you will not give anything to Rob.
You can't take anything in with
There
you.
will be no exceptions to this.
Oh dear.
Go in. And, oh my God, what we're going to do now? So we spent 3 days panicking about what we were going to do with this. But we had friends on Twitter and Facebook that were in touch with Tim of Tim and Flynn fame, who was friends with Tom Longworth. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. And so there was messages flying between Tallinn and the UK on Twitter and back to us and saying, take it here, take it there. I mean, we ended up one night, we'd been on a beach with a bonfire.
With red wine.
Oh, God.
With quite a lot of red wine.
Quite a lot
Smelling
of alcohol.
fire.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were supposed to go back to the hotel and go to bed before the gig the next day. And we said, look, we've got last gasp with this scrapbook.
Yeah.
And somebody gave us was it Tom's or was it Tim's address?
Yeah.
One of them's address in Tallinn and said, take it to the apartment. He says he'll give it to Rob. Fine, we'll go there. Tamu, the driver, who's lovely, took us into the old town. In the minibus. Dropped us off, said, it's just down there. Thanks very much. We went in this old bloody lift and up this place, and it was a strange building.
It was like a cage
strange
lift.
apartment building.
Real
Like you
strange
see in a
lift.
horror film or a James Bond, you know, where they're fighting through cage lifters. It's one of those coming down the middle of it. And there was all these Twitter messages who were saying,
leave it on the doorstep.
We said, there's nobody in at this place. Oh, leave it on the house. I said, we put a lot of work into the book. I said, not just leaving it in a plastic bag and bloody Morrison's carrier bag hanging on a door in the middle of Tallinn. We said, we'll have one last go and we'll just go up to the hotel. And I hate going to this hotel. I don't do it. I don't like going to stage doors.
We don't do stalking.
But we said we were desperate at this point, knowing that, I mean, everybody had their sort of hopes pinned on their message getting to Rob or not. We knew it. And so we were carrying that as well as scrapbooking and Morrison's carrier bag. So we went to this hotel. Was it Four Seasons?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a nice hotel. Anyway, we got there and there was
a lot of people outside.
Italians, the Italians who liked to go to hotels and they were, so we had to do a bit of diversion tactics. So I was hiding behind advertising boards and bollards, telling you what we looked like. I don't know. Anyway, I got into the hotel, up to reception. Hello, I'd like to leave this book for Tom Longworth. Yes. No, we haven't got Tom Longworth in. I said, God. He's with Robbie Williams band. Is he? Okay, so if you just like to stay there a minute, I'll get the concierge to see you. I thought, oh God, what am I doing?
Morrison's carrying back.
Stinking of bonfire.
You're still smelling it.
Yeah. And so the concierge came and yes, sir. And so I explained. I said, I've got the book, and Tom Longworth, will take it off me if I can get it to him. He said, I can take you as far as security, sir. And I said, that's fine. You know what I mean? If I can leave it at security.
Did you think you were a courier or
fine.
DVD.
I don't know what he thought. But anyway, he said, come with me. Anyway, took me over to the lift. I went in this lift, quite a large lift, and there was, I said, there 400 two couples in like Armani suits and dress things. And I'm stood there with this concierge, and I look in the mirror. Just think, if I were him, I wouldn't have let me in this building. No, never mind, take me in this lift with these people. Anyway, this went up to quite a high floor, and these people got off, and he took his, obviously security card out to get the lift to go right to the top.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean?
Penthouse,
and at this point, I'm thinking, I'm in trouble here. I'm starting to sweat a little bit as well as smelling the bonfire. With Morrison's carrier bag and looking like it's, came out of this lift. He said, "Just wait here, sir," and it was just a lobby. Yeah, very sparse lobby. And I'm thinking, if there were stairs, if I knew where the stairs were, I'd be down those stairs. I'd be out and just said, I couldn't do it. And he walked back with his man in shirt sleeves, and he didn't look like a policeman. So that's reassured me. And I said, "Look, I'm really sorry, but I said I've been told I can't take anything to the meet and greet tomorrow, but that's where I'm going." And he just looked at me and he said, "Yeah, they were right, you can't." He said, "But I'll give it to him." Oh, great! I thought, and I went, "Hang on a minute, who are you?" And he just turned round and he smiled. I'll always remember. He just turned round, he looked at me and smiled and said, "It'll get there." And he walked out. I thought, "Yeah, get in the lift, get in the lift, get in the lift." I'm going, yeah. And at this point, I think this concierge was thinking, I don't know whether I should have done let this. Anyway, went outside. Great, it was lovely. It was forgotten. So everybody stood up. Like, "Who have you given it to?" I said, "The fucking man at the top of the fucking lift." I have not.
I was showing him pictures. Right. Was it this man? Was it this man?
I said, "I don't know." Anyway, I said, "I'm sure it's got to the right place." You know what I mean? It was a penthouse. It was the top of the hotel. I'm sure. Yeah. And I'd seen his face when he smiled at me and said it'll get there. And it wasn't till the actual meet and greet. And he walked in, and Gary, it was SAS Gary. And I went, "That's him."
Oh, yes, exactly. And I went, "Well, that's Gary."
That's who got the scrapbook.
That's the man.
His bodyguard.
His bodyguard, his close personal bodyguard.
Main man.
Main man. It couldn't have gone to any better. And it was fun. And we had our picture taken after the meet and greet, and we had our picture taken. And I went over and I said, "Look, I'm sorry about last night." I said, I wanted to leave at the reception or somewhere. And he laughed and said it's absolutely fine. And Josie, who stood next to him, the dagger she gave me, she was going down. I got anywhere near. And, sorry. But he I know that he read it. Who told us that he'd read it? Oh, I think it was Tom. Was it Tom or Tim? One of them had messaged and said he got the scrapbook.
But he said that the meet and greet was
he did. Book. He stayed up long into the night reading it.
I bet.
And so that made it all worthwhile then. Yeah.
Well, Alan, on behalf of all the fans that know you, thank you for taking that journey up to the top of that hotel and delivering it to his bodyguard. We all appreciate it.
We did another one. We made another one.
Yeah, you did.
And that one was a lot easier because we just went to loose women. And,
you gave it to him.
And in the break, I just went, "Hey, Rob." I said, "There's this." He went, "Oh, is that the thing?" And took it off me. So that was a lot easier. Yeah. It's
what a lovely story.
Yeah, I do like hearing that story.
Yeah, it was a good book. And we took pictures of every page and made it into a video and put it on. And I used The Promise as a backing track of that.
Yeah.
I just wish we'd have done 2 scrapbooks and kept one for ourselves. But we didn't.
Yeah.
A lot of work though, wasn't it?
But you got a digital version.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a digital version. We got a record. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, the whole weekend was a bit of, it was surreal. A lot of it was just surreal.
Because they saved you a spot on the front barrier.
Oh, yeah, they put
that
the
was,
barriers. Yeah.
Wow.
VIP
treatment.
Yeah.
We had the meet and greet with Rob, which was a meet and greet and a photo opportunity, and and then we went for something to eat with the crew, and then Carrie walked us round
in front of everybody.
That we knew.
Yeah,
that had been. We'd seen them outside.
You know everyone that's in the queue,
and we were obviously really bothered about that.
Yeah,
as was Petra,
but the others weren't.
Everyone was like, "Oh, we're going to the front."
That's it.
No. It doesn't work.
And they had it, but they had
it was
barriers,
sort of like a
pen.
Yeah.
Just big enough for us and the film crew.
You had won the competition, though.
Yeah.
You did win.
That's how we justified it to ourselves. But I mean, the day before, we'd gone into the venue and Carrie had taken us in and he'd said to us, right, where do you want to be? And I thought he was joking. I thought, well, are you all right here? I'm going, yeah, all right, yeah. And then on the day, they'd actually buried it off and made us a pen at the front.
Yeah.
So they put us in this pen. And then they took the barriers out and then we just all got crushed.
Yeah. I bet all the people behind you were.
Yeah.
Carrie said, it was one of the first things Carrie said. He said, we've already upset a bloke. And he's about 6'2". I'm not going to stand next to him there. And he did give the Italians a bit of a hard time. But we know it's like, It was a brilliant experience.
It was a
brilliant gig.
It sounds as though so many different things happened on that trip, as well as the actual gig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was all sorts. Because some of us went on boats. Sarah would go on a boat and Petra. So you went off looking at soldiers, didn't you?
Well.
I don't know, some dodgy goings on the was. But it was lovely. They really looked after us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was our last Take the Crown gig as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Guess we didn't go to
The last one was Norway, I think.
Yeah, we didn't go.
Unfortunately, that was Chloe's 18th birthday, so we didn't go.
I see, right.
And what about the gig itself? Are there any particular standout moments, Tallinn in particular, anything?
From any
the story about She's the One was...
Yeah.
I said to Rob, after we'd had our pictures taken, I shook his hand and I said, look, Rob, I said, I know you quite often see me in the crowd and say hello. I said, but it'd be nice if just once, you'd say hello to Sarah. He went, yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Yeah, great. And so there I was thinking, this is I'm going to get brownie points here. I'm going to get brownie points here. And he went, so She's the One comes on and he starts off, and I think any minute now he's going to say Sarah, And
he came our way.
And he came out and he looked and he sort of clocked us.
It was coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. The classic. Alan! I just looked at him and shook my head. I thought, I can't do it. Sarah.
We're used to it, Lucy, aren't we?
Well,
He saw you as well, I'm sure. He must
he
have made some eye contact. And,
did.
but I think maybe in the heat of the moment and the adrenaline pumping, just can't get away from just saying Alan.
He just loves Alan.
In the meet and greet, he went round everybody and said, "Oh, you're the one that makes the models, aren't you? And you're the one that looks after the seals, and you're the one that, you do the entertaining, don't you? Yeah." And he got to Sarah, he went, "And you're with Al."
Yeah. Oh,
Just went off.
I was squeezing your hand really tight, wasn't I?
You're with Al. Yeah, that's right up.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because Rob does know quite a lot about some of his fans.
He does,
yeah. He does.
And a little bit more than some people might realise sometimes. He has been known to stalk the odd fan.
Yeah. Not like just on Facebook or like
look them
Not
up.
outside the house.
Find out a bit more information about who they really are and what they're up to.
Yeah, he said that at the dress rehearsal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Something about
It's nice.
It is nice.
I think it's creepy.
It is really nice. And because Della and Abby, who it was Della had lost her eldest daughter Kelly in a car crash, and her and her younger daughter Abby, they were there. And when we were on the beach with the bonfire, actually, they would tell everybody's life story came out and everything, and we were talking away. And at one point, I said, when I saw Rob, and Della went, "Oh, Rob, first name terms, are we? Rob." I said, and I just sort of laughed it off at the time. But when he walked into the meet and greet, I think I was, he just went, "Oh, hi, Al." And everybody turned to look at me. What? "Hi, Rob." As if I really know him, but I don't.
he just knows your name, that's all.
Because I stalked the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same as us.
Well, I remember when I had the Insta Live once. A few times we've had, and he said, "Just to let everybody know, we know each other from the shows, don't we?" And then all my mates were like, "What do you mean you know each other from the shows?" So, well, we stand at the front quite a lot, so
it's a different world, though,
got
isn't
to
it?
know us a little bit.
A lot of people,
but we're not stalkers.
No, we're
like
not.
Alan said, we respect the boundaries.
I know where I'm
supposed
supposed
to
to be.
Yeah, we
mind. We're this side of the barrier. And
It's lovely if he comes towards us and wants to say hello, like he did it under the radar. But we won't go stalking him on purpose.
I won't go.
We don't hang around hotels and don't want to make him feel uncomfortable and all that business. Which, What have you got to say about the Take the Crown tour then, Lucy? What do you remember about it?
Well, I saw it 3 times.
Yeah.
I think the first with you when we were queuing, and that's when we met Alan and Sarah.
Across the road from Asda.
What number were you?
I can't remember. I know. Yeah, because there was all those different gates, and so I think we were like 4 and 5, and you were like 1 and 2. Or something.
No, we have never. No, I don't do 1 and 2.
I
don't do 1.
I think you
might have
were.
been.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you might have been because there were so many gates.
There were so many gates that we were.
I think you'd started off a new queue round
We
there,
worked out that there was a gate that no one was queuing at, so we went and queued up.
Very rarely I'm 1.
I think you were because we thought you were in charge because you were 1 and 2. So that was it.
Because he had a yellow vest on. That's it.
And then I saw it again when I queued with Laura.
Yeah.
And Sarah, but Sarah got divided from us and ended up being in front of the main stage, whereas me and Laura ended up right round the side, next to the side of the stage,
right?
Because she couldn't run in. And then I saw it seated with my mum and Natalie.
Yeah.
So but you only went once, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, because Chloe was only.
I think I was
2, so he was.
I think I was looking after the kids.
Yeah, and I was off having my jollies.
I enjoyed the Etihad. I was at the Etihad, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good show.
It was such a big show that it sticks in your mind, even if you did only see it once.
Absolutely loved it. I did that tour. It's just magical time. But I, of all the gigs, Milan in the San Siro.
You decided not to queue for that, didn't you?
We decided not to queue because it was. I mean, it was 40 degrees. It was ridiculous, and we just couldn't have done it. We couldn't physically have done it, and so we went about the time the gates opened, and we still ended up in a crush of people.
Yeah, we did.
It was.
We were a few rows back.
Horrible, but anyway.
But the atmosphere.
Just the San Siro is very high. They stand around the side.
Yeah.
And the Italian passion just made it. The atmosphere in that gig was it was off the scale.
Yeah, it was
absolutely off the scale.
So even bigger than Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Similar sort of passion, but more intense.
Yeah.
The noise and the coming from the audience.
Must have been amazing because the show was already incredibly massive in its own right with him. And
one of my wife's favourite bits was they brought ice cream round on the end of one.
Yeah, they did.
What, in the crowd?
Yeah.
In the crowd,
wow, cool.
Ice cream selling.
Like when you go to the cinema.
Yeah.
We don't get that here, do we?
No.
But they brought it along the front row.
You
You
weren't
went on the
in
front
the-
row
we
on that
No,
one.
we weren't.
Right.
We weren't on the front row. Well, they went to the front. I mean, they did the whole.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
They didn't bring beer around at the same time.
It was beer,
there as well.
was beer, yeah.
See, that's more civilised, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, or not, depending how you want to look at it.
Well, actually, that reminds me of one of my other favourite gigs that I went to with you two, just me and you two, at the Magic gig.
Oh, yeah.
That was when you were away.
I was away.
We were working abroad. And they brought champagne, didn't they? It was probably like Prosecco or something.
Prosecco, well, it doesn't matter. It was a
And
sparkling
gave it
white.
to us for free, didn't they? At the barrier.
Yeah.
And sausages, sausage casserole.
And
There was
like
sausage casserole, fish and chip cones, wasn't there?
yeah.
Apple crumble and custard.
Yeah, that was it. Crumble.
And
should be
she
done in
said
all
to me, I hope
concert
they bring a dessert. The next thing
Yeah, they did.
was
Yeah, they
bring
did.
Dessert.
I think that needs to be done for all concert
And
queues.
beer.
It sounds
But
much
that was all
better.
was
free.
beer at the
It was
bar.
free because we were competition winners.
But it
Everyone
didn't happen at the Magic gig that I went to with you. Or was it Heart?
That was
that was
Heart.
Magic. you
That
went
was
to.
Heart. We went to Magic.
I think
Heart
it was
wasn't quite the
like the
same.
Magic Christmas party.
That's right.
Okay.
And we sort of been
Very
decided
nice.
they needed an audience for Robbie,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
and we were that. It was it was a surreal gig. That. Apart from the fact that I was dressed up as Buddy the Elf.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And you were driving home, so you couldn't have any other beer.
Alan has been known to wear a few costumes over the years.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. I'm not putting that. I'm not. Oh, yeah, go on.
Right, yeah, you've been
That'd be
Jesus.
funny.
You've
That'd be
been
funny. That was
Maureen?
Jesus.
Maureen, the
Maureen,
cleaning
yeah.
lady from the castle.
Yeah.
Buddy the elf.
Bloody hell.
The elf. I wonder what else is in store. I wonder what's
Who
going to happen in
knows?
Stoke, eh?
Who knows?
I was just going to say the big heads at the concert. The big white one that he used to come out on and sort of sit in the mouth, sing feel. That one always gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Really? Bit freaky.
Because they used to sort of make it look like a skull and project all like blue and red, and I don't know, it just always gave me the creeps.
Yeah.
So it was that big metal one that sprayed water on Come Undone, wasn't
That's
there?
right.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Tallinn, where you were, the DVD, and the bed scene.
Oh my God.
He brought up a lady from, she wasn't from Estonia, was she? She was from...
Lithuania?
Yeah, he did one of those where he says, "Where are you from?" Just say Estonia, and she doesn't. And then he said, "What's your name?" And she said, "My name's Gita." And he went, Gunter Joe. And he changed it about 3 or 4 times, and then he said, "Can I call you Jane?" And then he called her Gunter Joe in the end.
I think it was or Gunter Jane.
Gunter Jane.
It just cracked me up.
Only he can get away with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, I just
Take me back.
I wish, as you said, I only went once. I wish I'd went lots of times. It was such an incredibly big production. I just, it's the kind of show you could just. Well, we can watch Robbie over and over again. We've done that without production, but the show is just incredible.
Yeah,
must have been so hard to put together, and they were just all brilliant.
And the fact that he actually managed to stick to that set list and not drop songs as the tour went on, kind of shows that maybe he was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And getting on with doing it okay.
Yeah.
Didn't find it as much of a struggle as previous tours had been, which is positive.
Yeah. So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Great. All right, so it's come to that time in the podcast where we're going to pick our favourites from the B-sides and take the crown. Well, all of the songs that we've talked about in this podcast. So, Sarah, maybe you want to go first.
Soul Transmission for me. The video, the wedding video, the whole memories of Soul Transmission. That's mine. This one.
Oh, that's mine as well. So we're both together on that one. Soul Transmission, definitely. Alan?
The Promise for me, mainly because of the scrapbook video that I put together. The amount of work that went to scrapbook, and I watched it lots of times. Yeah. It always makes me smile, even though the song's not a happy song.
Yeah.
Happy memories.
Yeah, I love that. I love that song. It brings back good memories.
Yeah. Well,
Lucy?
I'll go for Going Crazy. Because it's a feel-good song. I like listening to it. Yeah. I enjoy that when it always comes on when I've got Robbie on shuffle.
And you just can't get the memories of those videos out of your head.
Yeah, hilarious.
Cool, so we'll put those on a playlist and put them on the website. I guess we just have to say a very big thank you to Alan and Sarah. We love queuing with you. We love being friends with you.
Yeah, we do.
I'm glad we met you just outside that as the Etihad, and you were number 1 and 2. And
thanks to our pop star for lots more than the gigs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
whole new family.
Yep. And it's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure.
And it stopped raining.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
So-
lovely to be recording this in Scarborough with you in your house.
Yeah.
So thank you for inviting us up. Lovely. I'm going to go and see Keen
anytime.
tonight.
Anytime.
So, thanks for listening, everyone. Tune into the next episode when we're going to be talking about swings both ways. So, thank you.
Thank you
And-
for listening. And thank you, Alan and
Goodbye.
Sarah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.